Hey y'all, this is Jess. Welcome back to Sunflower Dairy. So today we're going to be starting a whole bunch of different things. We're going to be starting a ton of sweet peppers. We're going to be starting some dahlia seeds, some drumstick flowers, and some eggplants. So let's get started. So we are right around 6 to 7 weeks before our last frost day. Usually our last frost day is about the second week of May. So we are getting all of our seeds started that need about 6 to 7 weeks before our last frost date to grow. So peppers is something that you definitely want to get started ahead of time, because if you wait until just a couple weeks to start these before your last frost date, then your peppers, they're going to take a very long time to produce something, because peppers, they take a very long time to grow. So getting them started sooner than later is going to be a huge benefit when starting peppers. Same with eggplant, they take a long time to grow as well. So wanting to get these started sooner than later. And cut flowers are a little more forgiving, but with dahlias, especially growing dahlias from seed, you want to get these started sooner than later as well, because dahlias actually take a little bit longer to flower than most flowers do. And also dahlias, if you get them started soon enough, if you start them from seed, then they will actually develop the actual dahlia tubers, which then if they're large enough in the fall, you could dig those up and actually save your dahlia tubers and plant them from tubers the following year instead of seed. So getting these started sooner than later is very important. So we are going to get started with the dahlias first today. So when starting dahlias from seeds, a couple of things that you need to think about is reading the actual size of the dahlias, because if you want actually big, tall dahlia plants, you need to be making sure that they are the correct varieties, because a lot of times when you're starting seed dahlias, a lot of times they'll be the little tiny miniature dahlia plants, and if you want them for big, huge cut flower plants, you definitely want to check the sizing on these. So these are the taller dahlia cut flower dahlias, and these are what I'm going to be starting today for cut flowers. So this here is a little singles mix dahlias, and we are just going to be putting them in this tray. Now these are something that like to be covered, so we're just going to be putting little spots in here to put these seeds in, and then we're just going to cover them up and spritz them in. Also, fun fact, a lot of people don't know that you can actually collect seeds from dahlias you grow. So if you let your dahlias flower and then collect those seeds for the following year, then you can plant dahlia seeds and start dahlia plants from your own dahlias. But also as well, you can save the tubers from the dahlias you grow, and then you can also divide the tubers for more dahlias. So there's so many different things that you can do with dahlias to grow more dahlias. The variety and ranges are endless. So this is a great thing to start. Alright, so I just went and put little holes in here with the little end of my marker, and I'm just sticking one seed in each little spot here that I made in our little tray. Oh yeah, another cool thing is that when you start your dahlias from seed and you save the tubers, if you grow from just the tubers the following year, another thing, not only can you divide multiple tubers apart for more plants, but you can also get your tubers to start growing, and then you can take cuttings of the plants that grow from that tuber, and then you can grow cuttings from that as well. So there's so many ways that you can grow more dahlias. Alright, so we have all of those in there. We're just going to gently cover those with our soil. And we're just going to take our little spritzer here We're just gonna spritz them in, and then we are going to put our humidity dome on top, and these will go underneath the grow light. We're just gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing with our cactus dahlias. All right, now with our eggplants, I'm going to literally just put these in little cups, and then I will separate them out later, because these, as well as peppers, they take a while to get started. So the best thing to do is put them on heat mats, and then that gets them up and growing a bit faster. So putting them in just a little small container to put them on the heat mat and get them going sooner. It's easier to just do little small containers, so you can put a bunch of different varieties all on one thing, and then later on you can just separate all the seedlings and put them into their own little things after they germinated. It just makes it a lot easier. So I find that these containers are great for starting eggplants or peppers, and you can just start multiples in these and then separate them later. They also come with a lid, which makes a humidity dome, which makes it so much better when you're needing good germination, especially when you're putting something on a heat mat. Then after you water, it's going to be holding that in, especially when you put it on a heat mat. Things usually dry out quickly. So I'm just going to put a couple spots in here and then put our eggplants in here. So eggplants, they actually grow super slow in my area. I am zone 6, and I find that eggplants do so much better in greenhouses. So that's exactly how I grow them here. I don't even waste my time planting them out in garden beds anymore. They get planted directly into the greenhouses. And it was crazy when I figured this out, that these didn't grow well in my climate, because I would always plant these out. I'd barely get anything. The plants were so small. Then I planted them in a greenhouse. I did exactly the same thing as I would if they were planted outside, except they were in a greenhouse. And I'm not kidding you, I had eggplants so big I didn't even know what to do with them, and there were so many. So literally, that you just gotta find how things like to grow, and it's crazy to see. Once you figure out how something likes to grow, it's completely mind-blowing to figure out, you know, that this plant likes this and that plant likes this, and you know, so just try different things and see how things grow, and you'll be surprised to figure out, you know, what things like what and what things don't. So definitely do different growing techniques and try different things with different plants. I'm telling you, it's worth it when you actually figure out how a plant likes to grow. Alright, so I have those eggplant plants covered. We're going to spritz them in. Little humidity dome. These will go on the heat mat. Peppers, so many peppers. Alright, so I actually 2 weeks ago started my hot peppers, so now it's time for sweet peppers. The different varieties I'm starting is King of the North, Bolt, California Wonder, Yellow Monster, Zulu, and Yellow Wonder. So when starting my peppers, just exactly what I talked about with how I start my eggplants, that's exactly how we're going to be starting our peppers. Little containers. I'm going to go ahead and get that water. Going to make our little spots to plant our pepper seeds. Alright, just going ahead and planting those in there. We're going to cover them. Spritz them in. Humidity dome, and they go on the heat mat. And I'm going to go ahead and plant the rest of these just like this. Alright, so now that I have my peppers planted, now we're going to go ahead and finish up with the drumstick flower. Now, if you are doing any kind of cut flowers or anything like that, this I highly recommend. This is such a cool and different flower. so different than anything you've seen. Literally, they grow up and they look like a drumstick. They are fun. They look like something from Dr. Seuss. I highly recommend growing this for cut flowers. Now to start this, I'm going to be planting them a lot like I did with the dahlias. So they're going to go ahead and get put into a little seed tray. Alright, so with the drumstick flower, you do cover these seeds a little bit, so we're just going to go ahead and make some spots in our seed tray where we're going to be putting our seeds. So like I said before, I just really love growing this flower. It's just super different than a lot of flowers that you usually see. Just the structure of the plant and the flower and just how it grows. It creates a lot of interest. It's super nice as far as the stems if you're using it for cut flowers. Alright, we're just going to cover these. Just going to spritz them in. And we'll add a humidity dome. Alright y'all, thanks for coming along with me and starting a whole bunch of seeds. It's really getting exciting around here. It is officially like the go time of seed starting. There's just so many things that it seems like every day I'm starting different seeds. There's just so many things to start right now. We are getting so close to spring and planting time and the gardening season. Alright all, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.